All right, class, these are your instructions for today. If you're watching this video, that means that you have found the handout that has been taped to your desk. These instructions are for both first block and third block, my B-Day classes. Today, what you're going to do is you're going to continue to work on your visual hexagons activity or your matrix grid. Remember, the overall goal here is to be able to compare and contrast the three colonial regions and be able to determine how big of a role did geography play in the development of the culture and economy of each colonial region. The very first thing that you should do is to go to the tiny URL that is located on your handout, and this is where you're going to find what activity you were assigned. You should find your name under either visual hexagons or matrix grid. So now that you have found the assignment that you are supposed to do, the next step that you want to do is go to my blog. My blog's website is listed on the instructions, so you should have no problem finding it. Once you go to my blog, you will look at the post that is labeled colonial regions, and then you will select the link that either says visual hexagons or matrix grid. Once you're clicking on that link, you will watch either the first 5 minutes of that link if you're watching the visual hexagons activity. This will run you through the instructions for the very first part. You must complete the graphic organizer before you go on to the next step, which is the visual hexagons activity. If you're doing the matrix grids, you must watch the first 3 minutes or so, so you get an idea of my instructions for the graphic organizer. So what are the materials that you're going to need today? So the first thing, when you're looking at the graphic organizer, you're going to want to have the document that looks like this. If you don't have it today, you can ask the sub for the folder that says this. All right, the second thing that you're going to need is the word bank. All right, if you don't have the word bank for your graphic organizer and for your other activities, then you can ask the sub for this. All right, you must give the word bank back. Other materials that you're going to need, the colonial era handout. All right, this is located in the folder labeled this. Once again, you need to give this back. You will also possibly need for the first part of the graphic organizer and the rest of your assignment this blue book. The pages that you will use in the blue book are posted on my blog along in the same post that the activity is posted in. So you should have no problem finding the information and put it in the appropriate column. So after you're done with the graphic organizer, depending on your assignment, you're going to go up to the sub and you're going to ask them for the visual hexagons activity instructions and the handout. Once you get those instructions and handouts, which look like this and this, and come in this folder. Remember, you give back the instructions. You will go back to the video that you stopped and you momentarily paused it, and you'll watch the rest of the video as I walk you through the steps to do the visual hexagons. If you were assigned the matrix grid activity, you will walk up to the sub and ask for this set of instructions that come in this folder. Once again, you have to give the instructions back at the end of class. You will then continue to play the video that you had momentarily paused, and I will walk you through the instructions for the matrix grid activity. First block, you can work through this during flex. Third block, unfortunately, you do not have flex, so you will have to, and first block, this goes for you as well. You will have to finish as much as you can, and whatever is not done, you will need to do for homework. All right. The instructions are there, the links are there, the handouts are there. Please, please, please make sure that you give the handouts back. I need the Colonial America handout back. I need all sets of instructions back, and I need the word bank back. You keep the graphic organizer, and if you're doing this, you keep that. All right. I hope you have a great day. One thing to also make note of is just be on your best behavior. Make sure my room doesn't get destroyed. Put the books back at the end of the class, and you should be good. All right? I'll see you guys on Wednesday.